Hi, it is the free chatting time again. So it has been a long time since my last video sharing on traditional Chinese martial arts, science and technology and culture. So today I'd like to share with you the following informations because for many months now I keep receiving questions from our Wing Chun friend or traditional Chinese martial art friends on about this Wing Chun Matrix books. So a major part of the questions to me is this book my creations? I create this, or this is real exists in the traditional Chinese martial art history. Okay, and is this Wing Chun, which is this book talk about? And the second question is, do I teach the art or the technology or the science of these books? So this is two questions. Now, the first thing I like to share with you guys before I continue on is this. As you guys see, right now I'm focusing in the artificial intelligence model process modeling on ancient technology of meditations, of qigong, of ancient Chinese science and technology. Okay, I like this part because I'm dealing with science and technology and culture by evidence. Okay, and I'm doing this and no longer, or I retire from the Wing Chun martial art community, quote unquote, because I don't find happy to work within the martial art community where it is about lineage, traditions, and who is best fighter, those kind of stuff. I'm not happy working with those kind of stuff. I am happy working with the science, the technology, the culture as it is, like a scholar or researcher. Okay, not like, oh, I'm the best fighter, my lineage is the #1 lineage, I'm the oldest, all this kind of stuff, and challenge and all this kind of stuff. I don't want anything to do with it. Okay, so this is very important because what I'm going to share with you got nothing to do with those kind. I'm more authentic, I'm the grandmaster, or this lineage is better than that lineage, or this grandmaster. Not those stuff. Okay, what I like is pure solid technology, science, culture by evidence, instead of going to those stuff. Okay, so I can share on, as soon as this is technology by evidence, historic evidence, culture, and not get into all those, which I mentioned before. Okay, so this way everything is clean and clear on. We just focus on, does it exist? What is this going on in terms of technology, instead of who is the best fighter, whose lineage is the best, and all kind of stuff. Okay, or this story, that story, who is the best fighter, I can beat you, you can beat me. I don't feel happy to deal with those stuff, and I don't like to deal with those stuff. Okay, it's not for me. Okay, so here I like to share with you what happened on this book. Okay, so let's start with the reality of fighting. the reality of fighting, disregard of human or animals or anything about fighting. Because fighting, face it, fighting is a part of the reality of human life and animal life. That's what it is. So in today's term, fighting, in today's scientific term, fighting, say between two human or two animal, okay, you can be human or animal between them, okay. And as soon as this is about fighting, we know by today's physics, human have weight. This another human have weight. Because it's, how heavy you are, you have weight. It's human, even the animal have that. Now, when the two human fighting or two animal fighting, it involves in momentum and impulse. That's physics. When two objects going toward each other with velocity. Okay, so we have a mass here, you have a mass here, and you have velocity to come in. So disregard of what style, what race, human or animal, when you talk about fighting, it always boils down. The bottom line is the impulse momentum and your weight handling. Okay? So that is the reality we cannot change as soon as we live in this world. It is that dynamic. Okay, and we know in physics, it's about handling of the impulse and momentum. Okay. Now, that is why in this book, it mapped this very fundamental, into impulse momentum. Okay, and force and mass. Because we like it or not, it always has to be like that. This law of physics. Okay? So this is a universal truth. We like it or not, this is the universal truth. Okay? Physics, the real world, got nothing to do with what style, which grandmaster, all those stuff. Okay, just put those aside. Let's go to the scientific stuff. Even two tigers fight each other, it has to satisfy this. It has to subject to this impulse momentum. Okay? Now, there is a reality, the truth, the universal truth. Okay? Now let's look into the traditional Chinese martial art on what is happening. Okay? Now, by 1560, the Chinese have two major classes of fighting system. Two major classes. Okay? So, namely, the long fist art and the short strike art. Okay, this is a long fist. This is a short strike. Okay, so in Chinese, this is called Changquan. In Chinese, this is called Duan Da. Okay, so by 1560, this is the Ming Dynasty. This is the Ming Dynasty. Okay, so Changquan meaning that one is located in a distance, say 1 meter distance to exchange the impulse momentum Okay, so the characteristics of Changquan is one is standing with a distance around 1 meter to exchange momentum or impulse momentum. Okay, so that is one major category of the traditional Chinese martial arts. Another one is exchanging the impulse momentum with a body sticking at another body's range. That is called the short strike or duan da. Okay, so in terms of impulse momentum, we can define this very clearly. Okay, this is we can define very clearly. The long fist is, say, this is 1 meter away. They stay at 1 meter away to exchange the impulse and momentum. Okay, this is the long fist. And then you have a short strike, which is the body sticking the body. Okay, the body sticking at the body, exchange the impulse momentum. Okay, so this long fist, this is a short strike. Okay, now because this is a 1 meter, so the way how they use the body weight are different, because they need to, in this distance, this 1 meter distance, they need to handle the impulse and momentum. Now, and this short strike, because the body is sticking with the body, pressure into the body, lean into the body, the way how they handle and exchange impulse momentum are different. Okay, so this is two different type of category or major type of traditional Chinese martial art by 1560. Okay, so this is you exchange blow, agile footwork and so forth. This is just go sticking with it. You pressurize, you crush, all kinds of stuff. So this is the two type by 1560. Now, so around 1550, 1560, at the era of General Qi Ji Guang, where they have to fought the Japanese pirate invasions and so forth in the coast of the southern China and so forth. At that era, okay, 4 momentum zone has been known. Okay, so 4 momentum zone is meaning, or 4 momentum or 4 fighting zone. Okay, 4 fighting zone and or 4 momentum zone. Okay, 4 fighting zone or 4 momentum zone, because fighting is about exchanging of momentum and impulse, right? Okay, so there are 4 types. One, it is in the distance, okay, like this 1 meter distance far away. The second is when the bodies stick together. Okay, so this number 1, number 2, number 3, you starting have the throw and take down. Okay, the throw and take down. Number 4 is fighting at ground. Okay, so at 1560s, by that time, at the fighting of the Japanese pirate time, this 4 momentum zone is known already. Okay, this 4 momentum zone is known. Now, Remember we talked about that two major type of a traditional Chinese martial art, the long fist, and then the short strike. Okay, now so this is before or pre 1560s. So at 1560s, you know that there's a 4 momentum zone there already. Okay, so what happened? The long fist people evolved because they need solutions to handle the 4 momentum zone. The long fist people. And the short strike people also evolve their art because they do need to fight the 4 momentum zone. Okay, so this is the core. This is the core. So to make an analogy is like this. Say if this is Android phone, this is iOS phone, okay, in your smartphone system. This is the application is needed. So the Android were based on their Android platform evolve so that it be able to handle this application needed, or the applications of this four different area which is needed. The iOS phone also using their platform to evolve so that it be able to have applications to satisfy to handle the 4 application area or the 4 momentum zone. Okay, so that's how it evolved post 1560s. That's Chinese traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay, so you need to know this. This is how the technology evolve. Okay, now, so let's talk about this. The core, the long fist and the short strike. Now, we know that just now, long fist is this, say 1 meter distance, the short strike is this sticking to each other distance. Okay, so this distance. Now, in Chinese, that is in a traditional Chinese martial art, there is a specification really clearly define the training of this type of art. Okay, so this type of platform, you look at that, if this is like the Android, this is the iOS, they have their specific technical specs or technical area which is they need to address, and that is the Quan Fa and Shen Gong. Okay, Quan is queen, Fa, no, usually we say queen Fa, right? And then this is Shen Gong, okay, the body Gong, or the body conditioning. So there are 3 categories of things which is we need to know when we know a traditional Chinese martial art. We want to study that. Okay, now, so for example, this long fist, you know that the fighting is in their expert, their core is in the 1 meter distance type of fighting. So they have their fa, or this fa. So what is that? That is actually how to handle the momentum and inputs. How to play that. That's called fa. Okay? So what is queen? Queen, okay? Queen is actually the shape, the explicit shape, which is supporting this momentum handling. Okay? For example, you have a long what do you call it? A poultry. Okay, a throwing out punch. The long, stretching out throwing the punch there, that is the form, the body shape, the body handling. That body handling is called Queen. And that doing this power actually is to satisfy, to support the momentum and the impulse of the long fist type of fighting. You know, like I fight with you, I need a momentum, I need an impulse to strike you, okay? And the condition is like between me and you is 1 meter, you know, or more range. So I need that momentum. And how do I implement that momentum handling? I use this power this is cup trick, okay? This cup trick, okay? This kind of hook, long range hook, or the power trick, okay? So that is this trick. This type of body movement is called Queen. Okay, and what it support, or what it implement, or what it realize is the momentum. The momentum. Okay. Now, so we can see, as in the long fist, the first is the momentum and the impulse, which is the fight. Okay, and then we need the body shape. Okay, or the body, the physical body handling techniques, which is the Queen. So Queen is realize the momentum. Okay. Now, the body condition, 三公, the body condition come in is your body has to be conditioned so that you be able to perform this hook, okay, this cut tree or hook, this long distance type of punch. My body has to condition like that. So this is the 三公. Okay. So now you have the fat, which is the momentum, the Queen, which is the shape, because you want to have this type of momentum, you need to have this kind of shape, because you know you're physical beings, and then you need to condition your body so that you can manipulate or to realize this long stretch out type of strike. Okay, you can condition your body so that you be able to do a good job on that. So the 三公 support the Queen, and the Queen support the fat. Okay, so the body condition support the Queen support the fat. That is for the long fist. That is the same in terms of the short strike. So you have the fat, the Queen, the body condition. Okay, so this is where you say this is the techniques, okay, or your body form of your techniques, you know, and say this is the momentum. Okay, so that is how it is. So no matter what you study, okay, be it the long fist or the short strike, you always have this fat, Queen, and 三公. If you don't have this, it is incomplete in terms of you look into the traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay? So it's not just techniques. Like you say, well, 摊手, well, what is that 摊手 for? What type of momentum are you implement or realize? And then when you do that 摊手, you say, well, what type of 三公, your body condition is supporting that, so that you optimize that thing. Okay, same thing is as a power trade, okay, or a cup trade, same thing. Okay, so I hope that you see that now. So now, say in short strike art, short strike art, which is they stick to each other. Now we know that short strike art will have the characteristic of press in, say with the shoulder, with the hip and so forth, okay, and you trip and throw and those kind of stuff. And of course, you know, that is the momentum to handling within the body, sticking body, pressure body range. And then it have its fat, okay, there's the fat, which is the momentum or impulse. And then of course it have its techniques, or the queen type, okay, like get close, okay, nail him with the oppression with the shoulder and so forth, okay. And then the body has the condition so that it be able to optimize this. And this is very different than the long fist, okay, just make it clear. Now, using this core, then one evolved to handle the 4 momentum fighting zone. So this is like 1560s, and the post 1560s is going to, you know, to evolve so that it be able to handle the 4 fighting zone. However, this is the bottom line. Okay, so for example, if this is iOS, the iOS operating system, the iOS might modify here or vary a little bit, but it always is iOS, because its strength is in iOS, and this is the strength. And however, they evolve so that it be able to have these applications, okay. And this thing is not going to evolve. This Fat and Queen and San Gong is not going to evolve into the long fist type of Fat and San Gong, because they're 2 different type of animal. It's like the iOS is not going to evolve into your Android operating system, okay? Now, so this book is talking, the first thing as what I show you just now on the impulse momentum. This is the truth of the universe, okay? And it continue on, it presenting the Fat, the Queen, and the San Gong. So in this book, okay, it presents this thing, okay, as up to 1850 in the Red Boat era. Okay, that's how it's trackable, it's traceable, okay? Now, so as we know that the short strike art, it has a common denominator, okay? So say after 1560, post 1560, this is going to evolve due to a different way of handling or facing the 4 momentum zone or the 4 fighting zone. It's going to evolve into different art, evolve into Wing Chun, evolve into whatever short strike or whatever art, okay, or the 6 penetration short strike or different type of short strike art, okay. But it's all short strike offspring, okay. This book is talking about the common denominator of the short strike, okay, with the most, okay, it based on the common denominator of the short strike. And what we found in the 1850s Red Boat era Wing Chun, okay, so it evolved until that time. You can see the short strike, the common denominator, both the Fat, the Queen, and the San Gong, okay, or the body condition is there, okay. So this book is presenting that. So it has a map of this. That's how you develop the Fat, the momentum in one side, the condition on the other side, the body condition, and then the momentum on the other side, and then the techniques is there, okay? Because the body support the techniques, and the techniques or the support the momentum, as well explained, okay? So it is there. Now, so as soon as, so if you ask me, what is this really that you show me this thing is really Wing Chun? Say for example, this is to get in. The body, when you get in, okay, the weight is at front. Is that Wing Chun? Well, you need to know the common denominator of the short strike art, because this is Wing Chun is a short strike derived art. One of the very important thing is this, because it is a body stick to the body art. It's not fighting in a meter away. One need to be really fast to dash in, to get close. That is called shoot in. Okay, in the Chinese it's called xie, shoot in. And when you shoot in, it's like if you look at the football player, American football player and so forth, when you shoot in, you have to have because when you shoot in, it involves your momentum handling, your weight, your body weight handling, okay? So your body weight, when you're prior to shoot in, your body weight has to be in front, okay? So that right away you shoot in the whole thing, okay? Now, if it is this way, the weight is behind, then you lost a timing to shoot in, to carry your body stick in, okay? So in order to shoot in, the body weight has to be in front, and all short strike base, okay, you can track the short strike up to the 1560 and so forth. All the weight is at front when you shoot in, okay? Because you have to make sense on today's physics, that what is the faster way? What is the fastest way to get here to here, to get this location to this location? Okay, what is the fastest way? Is your weight putting back here is make more sense in terms of Newton physics, since today we have science now, or the weight at front? And you know that the ancient Chinese, the weight is at front, and that actually fulfilled, that actually satisfied today's physics. If the weight is behind, become a drag, it will not be able to dash in as fast, okay? That's number one key, shoot in. Okay, shoot in, or the momentum transfer, the inputs generation to shoot in. The second is due to the weight is at front. You see this knee is pressing at the opponent. This is called pressing. This is what in Cantonese say "pek bo." You press him, you force him. That's what it is. If the body weight is not at front, you don't have that press. Also, you see there's an elbow here and the shoulder here. All this because of the weight. Because of the weight is at the front leg forward. Because of the weight is over here, it be able to lean in to press in. So there's two count there. One count is you need to shoot in, to dash in very fast. The second count is you need to use this to hammer him, so that if he's standing like that, You come from here, you dash in right away, you take his center axis out right away. Based on these two things. Okay? And another thing I can like to tell you here is that all the so-called vertical fish is exclusive type of fish for the short strike. Now, this vertical fish or sun punch, you are not going to go for long range. Okay, for the long range, for the people who fight the long fish, their fish, this is their body weight. They will use this body weight to swing or to jab in with the entire body weight, so that is not the same type of mechanics you as the vertical fish. The vertical fish is used when one is dashed in, so the entire body go in, the entire pressure go in. On top of that, it has the vertical fish there, so that you actually have the entire body behind your vertical fish to shoot in with the entire body. It's very different than usually the long fish punch. So today in physics, we know that it has to satisfy the truth, which is, at first I told you that fighting is about exchange of impulse momentum. How can you optimize it? How can you maximize it? Okay, so that's what it is. And of course, after 1850s, the so-called Wing Chun in Red Boat, due to the loss of the Red Boat people who practice Wing Chun, the uprising lost. So the Qing win, okay, the Qing dynasty win. So this opera is no longer exists. It been banned down, it burned down, it just no longer there. So later on, when Wing Chun appear in in the so-called opera boat again, that is no longer the same troop of these people. And the same also the art from the, okay, so this is 1870, this 1850s. So this is broken line here. And over here, it evolved to different stuff. Okay, many things evolved. No longer whatever this. And then in the 1960s, until today, it evolved to many things. And whether what this evolved is still short strike or not is a good question. Okay? And so, like today, people talk about structure. Well, if you look from the beginning, my presentations, until now, you see everything is dynamic, impulse momentum. There is no room for something to statically sit on there, because everything is changing. It's dynamic, okay? So, the structure stuff, where does it come into the play? So, structure stuff is actually, remember this is the Fat, which is the momentum, this is the Queen, and this is the body condition. Structure, so-called structure in traditional Chinese martial art is at this beginning state. At the beginning state, they train the body in a certain way, and then they get into this, it change, and when they go to the fight, it's completely a different animal, it's completely a dynamic. So one move will change into 2-4 moves easily, because at one move they shoot in. For example, you have an opponent here. You shoot in, you get close here. By the time you get close here, for example, for sure he's changing. So you write the adjust there. So the torque coming in for the short strike, the torquing, rotating. So you have the shoot in, and then you have the torque here. And there is no structure there. There's no rigid stuff anymore. The entire mechanic is just changing. It's just like a car is running. Okay, it's no longer like a rack, a book, a shelf or anything, or a tower there anymore. It's just entire thing moving in the dynamic way. Okay. So that is the whatever exists in technical, if one going in the path of technology and science, using today's scientific to understand what is going on. Okay. So that is about this book, because the goal of this book, writing this book, is to transfer whatever from the ancient to today's, so that the culture, the technology, the science is known. Okay? And it got nothing to do with whose lineage or whose style or who is best fighter or who is what. Well, I am just a messenger. This is what the reality based on data. You don't have to agree with it, you don't have to like it. But this is the evidence. Shooting me have no use to it. Because it is just a matter of time. People will find this out. Okay? And in this case, my research spent my decades of life getting to here. So, as in this book, even the breeding of the short strike and all kind of stuff, like there are different states. Like here, this is the 2C, 2B, all the state. This is the physiology state. Those are clearly open it up to see what it is. Okay? So, I hope that I answer about this book. So if anybody would like to study traditional Chinese martial art, not even Wing Chun, not necessarily Wing Chun, but other short strike or other long fist, like to know what is going on, well, you can look into this book. You can see the common denominator of the short strike art. That's what it is. Okay, and you can see the physics behind. And those physics is applied to the long fist, but the long fist have a different type of momentum, different type of mechanics, and different type of body conditioning. Okay, they cannot be the same. Okay, so you cannot just mix Tai Chi, mix all this and that. Well, what is Tai Chi? Tai Chi is a long fist. Tai Chi is not a short strike. So if you want to mix Tai Chi into the Wing Chun, well, what is that? The Yi Quan, the guy who do the 站桩 standing pose, well, what is that? Is it a short strike? Well, it's not a short strike. It is a long fist type of art. And again, you know, the momentum, when the people get close, you have to be really dynamic, that you stick. And that's why there's an analogy there saying that, well, it's like a snake. Because when the snake rack in, you know, it keeping changing. Just ask the question, will a snake have a structure or it doesn't have structure? Okay, so that's what it is. Now, as for do I teach those stuff before, have a class for those? Yes, I do have a technology which is to develop this thing in 10 weeks or so. The basic of the common denominator of the short strike, of the Wing Chun short strike. Okay, but right now I didn't evoke it because my mind is in this artificial intelligence stuff and so forth, so forth. And so today what I'd like to share with you is, let's make it very clear, okay? This is for culture, technology, and science. I don't want anything to do with the Wing Chun authentic CD, or who is the best fighter, or who is the oldest Wing Chun. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about plain technical and culture. And I am, as I wrote that book, I like to get this into university for the formal Asian study arts educations, because this is what it is. Okay, so I hope that they share with you once for all, and so that I don't get receive all this message anymore, because my mind right now is in the artificial intelligence and so forth, so forth. Okay, so this is to share with you today. I know this is a long video, but let's make it clean. Okay, and in no way I say that I am the grandmaster or the guru or the gatekeeper. I don't want anything to do with that. I am just an engineer, a researcher, a scholar to study this stuff and report this stuff according to history, evidence, and science.